Thriving with Schizophrenia by Austin Mardon, with Gurpreet Gill, Navjeet Gill, Menaka Sivakumar, and Mitra Sivakumar. Narrated by Hana Hubley. To Catherine Curry, my lass. Acknowledgements. The co-authors would like to thank their families for their constant support and Austin Mardon for the opportunity. Contents. Chapter 1. Austin's Success Story, From Madness to Rideau Hall. Chapter 2. Managing Medication and Adapting to a New Lifestyle. Chapter 3. Learning to Manage Finances Successfully. Chapter 4. Building and Maintaining a Proper Relationship with Your Doctor. Chapter 5. Cutting the Apron Strings. Chapter 6. Stable versus Normal. Healthy versus Normal. Chapter 7. Dealing with Stigma. Chapter 8. Intimacy. Chapter 9. Living with Less. An Attitude of Gratitude. Chapter 10. Volunteering, then Employment. Chapter 11. Government-funded financial assistance programs in Canada. Chapter 12. Exercise and Alternative Medicine. Chapter 13. Keeping Watch. Will you be ready for a cure? Chapter 9. Living with Less. An Attitude of Gratitude. Life without gratitude. Most people are not entirely grateful for their lives or their possessions. They are not grateful for their health, their family, or their friends. They are grateful for the people and things they want, but do not need, while the people and things they need are often brushed aside emotionally. The phrase, life without gratitude, which titles this section, emphasizes a note of deficiency. A life without gratitude is meant to connote a sense of loss from life and sad misfortune. However, in reality, life without gratitude is not felt as loss. In fact, most people do not realize their lack of gratitude until they are faced with loss or depression, when they eventually realize they had never counted their blessings, but rather their deficiencies. For example, a teenager may lust for a BMW or a Mercedes every time they drive their Honda Civic, but it isn't until they no longer have what they consider the bare minimum of a Honda Civic that they really feel grateful for a car at all. Now imagine the life of a schizophrenic patient, an individual who was born with what most people believe is a mental disadvantage in comparison to the rest of the population. They may be singled out and stereotyped for the mental condition they were born with. But even schizophrenic patients can more readily realize the gift of life than a normal individual. Although the difficulties and challenges faced by schizophrenic patients on a day-to-day basis may be larger than the average individual, an attitude of gratitude will provide them with an indestructible foundation of happiness that will help them face those day-to-day challenges with greater confidence and inspiration. The path to this sense of gratitude is always the same, with or without schizophrenia. Life without gratitude is a dangerous and dark path to travel, leaving individuals susceptible to greed, anger, frustration, and depression. Almost everyone has rejoiced at the thought of winning the lottery, valued at millions, just by thinking of the things they could do with all that cash, but not everyone allows these thoughts to be short-term. The difference between people who enjoy a short laugh over the thought of becoming a millionaire and the people who are angered at their current financial situation in comparison to possibility of millions is simple: the attitude of gratitude. This is only one example of the many ways a person manages to find defects in the life he or she lives, often leading to anger and frustration. An invisible hierarchy is always present and customized in every individual's mind according to what they believe is superior and inferior. In order to attain happiness, this hierarchy must first be demolished. The primary source of the lack of gratitude is unarguably comparison. Comparison allows someone to evaluate his life and then evaluate another's life, only to finally compare the two. However, in such comparisons, the commonly used logical unit of measure has a dollar value.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?